The massive ship materialized in Earth's orbit without warning. Spanning 20 kilometers from bow to stern, its hull gleamed like obsidian under the sun, reflecting starlight in patterns that seemed almost deliberately intimidating. For 3 days, it hovered silently, jamming all attempts at communication while governments worldwide scrambled to prepare for what everyone feared would be humanity's last stand. On the fourth day, the sky above every major city on Earth flickered with holographic projections. A tall figure with gray skin and 6 eyes arranged in a hexagonal pattern appeared, clad in ornate armor that seemed more ceremonial than functional. "People of Earth," the alien began, its voice perfectly translated into every language simultaneously. "I am Admiral Vex of the Galactic Hegemony. Your primitive world has been designated as tributary planet 11,429. You will provide the following annual tribute: 5% of your global water supply, 10% of rare earth minerals, and 50,000 of your kind for labor forces. Compliance is mandatory. You have 48 hours to prepare your initial shipment. Resistance will result in orbital bombardment." The transmission ended abruptly, leaving a stunned planet below. In an emergency United Nations session, global leaders aired desperate plans ranging from immediate surrender to suicidal military strikes. It was Navy Admiral Thomas Mason who finally spoke up from the American delegation. "We need more information before we act," he said calmly. "Their technology is clearly advanced, but every civilization has weaknesses. I propose we stall while gathering intelligence." Jack Reed, a former astronaut turned diplomat, volunteered to lead the Earth delegation. 6 hours later, he and a small team boarded a shuttle that had been dispatched from the alien vessel. Aboard the hegemony ship, Reed noted details that seemed odd. The aliens, who called themselves the Viridian Collective, moved with what seemed like deliberate slowness. Their ship, while enormous, showed signs of age and hasty repairs that even human engineers could recognize. Admiral Vex repeated the demands in person, adding threats with practiced precision. "And if we refuse?" Reed asked directly. Vex's 6 eyes blinked in a rippling pattern. "Then your civilization ends. Our weapons can crack your planet's crust. Compliance is your only option." Reed requested 12 hours to consult with Earth's leaders, which Vex granted with suspicious ease. Back on Earth, Reed shared his observations with a small group of scientists and military strategists. "They're bluffing," Reed concluded. "Their ship is impressive but old. The crew I saw numbered maybe a few hundred, not thousands. Most tellingly, they're in too much of a hurry. A truly overwhelming force wouldn't need to rush." Dr. Emma Wilson, a xenobiologist, agreed. "From the biological samples our scanners collected, their species requires 3 times Earth's gravity. They're wearing exoskeletons just to move in our orbit. On our planet, they'd be practically immobile." General Roberts frowned. "Even if they can't invade, they could still have orbital weapons." "Maybe," Reed acknowledged, "but I don't think they do. I think their entire strategy relies on intimidation, not actual firepower. They're probably resource-depleted and desperate." The team spent the next 10 hours analyzing every scrap of data. When Reed returned to the alien vessel, he carried with him humanity's response. Admiral Vex met him in the same chamber. "Your decision." Reed placed a small device on the table between them. "This contains Earth's formal response." Vex activated it, and a hologram of Reed himself appeared. To the Viridian Collective, the recording began. "Earth declines your demand for tribute. Instead, we offer a counter-proposal: immediate withdrawal from our solar system and a non-aggression pact. Should you choose aggression, you should know that during our last meeting, we deployed 30 nuclear-armed stealth satellites that now surround your vessel. Additionally, we've identified the critical structural weaknesses in your ship's aging propulsion system." Reed watched Vex's reaction carefully. The alien's secondary breathing vents flared, what his team had identified as a sign of alarm. "This is suicide," Vex hissed. "We will destroy your civilization." Reed smiled thinly. "Perhaps. But not before we destroy your only capital ship. Our analysis suggests that hegemony consists of just 3 worlds, not the vast empire you claim. We've already transmitted your ship's vulnerabilities to every military on Earth. If a single weapon is fired at our planet, You won't survive to report back. What followed was 8 tense hours of negotiations. In the end, the truth emerged. The Viridian Collective was indeed just 3 resource-poor worlds with a handful of ancient capital ships scavenging from planets too primitive to resist. The massive ship that had terrified Earth was the last of its kind, with barely functioning weapons and a crew of barely 200. When Admiral Vex departed 3 days later, it was with a modest trade agreement instead of tribute. Earth would provide limited water and minerals in exchange for faster-than-light technology schematics, technology that humanity's scientists confirmed was genuine. 1 month later, as the first human engineers began adapting the alien drive concepts for Earth vessels, Jack Reed met with Admiral Mason in a quiet Washington office. "They'll be back eventually," Mason noted. "Perhaps not the Viridians, but others." Reed nodded. "Yes, but next time we'll meet them between the stars, not in our own orbit. And we won't be bluffing." Outside the window, in shipyards around the world, humanity's first interstellar vessels were already taking shape. The galaxy had unwittingly awakened a sleeping giant, and the universe would never be the same.